you ever notice how chaos always shows up right when the spotlight gets brighter? Because that's what makes this whole situation feel less random and more strategic. Clarissa Shields has a major fight locked in. Big venue, big stage, big money attached. She's not just fighting for belts anymore, she's fighting inside a career that's now tied to multi-million-dollar deals, branding power, and mainstream visibility. When someone reaches that level, attention becomes currency. And attention doesn't care whether it's applause or outrage. Then Jaguar Wright went live, and instead of easing into it, she went straight for the jugular. She didn't question Clarissa's skill. She questioned the machine around her. She said what people whisper but rarely say out loud, that what we're watching isn't just a relationship, not just boxing dominance, not just celebrity drama. It's a design, a constructed narrative, a system that builds a hero while carefully managing what the audience gets to see. That's a heavy claim, and it hits harder because Jaguar framed it like this isn't about talent. It's about protection. She suggested that greatness, when marketed correctly, doesn't need to risk itself. That certain fights get made, certain rematches don't, certain controversies get amplified, and others disappear. Not randomly, intentionally. Now that doesn't mean it's true, but it's powerful because it taps into something fans already feel. That modern sports isn't just competition anymore. It's entertainment layered on top of competition. Risk gets calculated, matchups get negotiated, timing gets engineered. And when someone says this is all controlled, people lean in. But Jaguar didn't stop at boxing. She pivoted to the relationship. That's when it got uncomfortable. Because once you bring papoose into the center of the conversation, it stops being about belts and starts being about leverage. Jaguar's argument wasn't that this is some fairy tale gone wrong. It was that it might not be a fairy tale at all. She implied the partnership looks more like alignment than romance. Two people benefiting from visibility at a time when visibility is everything. Think about it. Public relationships generate engagement. Engagement feeds algorithms. Algorithms increase reach. Reach increases bargaining power. Bargaining power increases checks. That doesn't automatically mean manipulation, but it does mean incentives exist. Jaguar used one word that really stuck: handler. That word alone is explosive, because a handler suggests guidance turning into control, advice turning into dependency, protection turning into gatekeeping. And whether you believe her or not, that accusation shifts how people watch every public interaction after that. Now, fans aren't just seeing affection. They're scanning for power imbalance. They're asking who benefits most if this narrative succeeds. And that's where the money conversation creeps in. When an athlete's income jumps fast, sponsorships, endorsements, fight purses, the circle around them expands. Managers, advisors, legal teams, publicists, that's normal. But the power naturally flows toward whoever understands the contracts, the deals, the paperwork. The fighter may be the face, but the infrastructure sits elsewhere. Jaguar's claim leans into that dynamic. She painted a picture where the person taking punches isn't necessarily the one holding control of the business. Again, allegation, not proof. But the psychology of it makes people uneasy. Because history in sports and entertainment is full of stories where talent and money didn't stay aligned. Then there's Remy Ma. Jaguar framed her as collateral damage in a larger shift. Not flawless, not innocent, but positioned as the one who became inconvenient. The one who didn't fit the updated storyline. And when a narrative changes in public, the person who doesn't adapt becomes the villain. That's not exclusive to this situation. That's how public culture works. The audience wants clean arcs: hero, conflict, replacement, reset. But here's the part most people ignore: silence. Jaguar kept circling back to it. She questioned why other voices in the industry didn't speak up, why empowerment rhetoric goes quiet when it costs access, why people choose safety over solidarity. Is that fear, strategy, self-preservation? Probably a mix of all three. Because in entertainment, speaking up can cost you proximity to power. And proximity to power is everything. But here's the twist. What if Jaguar's live isn't just an attack? What if it's part of the same ecosystem? Outrage drives clicks. Clicks drive conversations. Conversations drive coverage. Coverage drives attention. Attention fuels everything, from fight promotion to streaming numbers to social relevance. Controversy doesn't always hurt a brand. Sometimes it hardens it. The bigger the noise, the bigger the spotlight. And Clarissa Shields isn't a small name. She's branded as the GWOAT. That kind of title creates devotion. It also creates scrutiny. The more perfect the image looks, the more people search for cracks. Jaguar's core thesis wasn't that everything is fake. It was that everything is managed. Managed risk, managed love, managed public perception, managed conflict. Whether you believe that or not, once the idea enters the room, it doesn't leave easily. Because now every synchronized appearance feels strategic. Every caption feels curated. Every public defense feels rehearsed. And maybe that's unfair, or maybe that's just the cost of living at that level. Here's something else to think about. In modern celebrity culture, authenticity is currency. But so is mystique. So is drama. So is resilience under fire. When someone survives controversy and comes out stronger, it reinforces the myth. It proves dominance. So if Jaguar is wrong, this blows over and strengthens the brand. If Jaguar's right, the timing will expose it. That's the uncomfortable middle ground. Because the truth in situations like this rarely explodes. It leaks, slowly, through behavior shifts, through business decisions, through who stays and who disappears once the noise fades. And that's what makes this interesting. Not the yelling, not the insults, not even the allegations, the incentives. Who benefits if the relationship thrives? Who benefits if it collapses? Who benefits if fans stay divided? Who benefits if fans stay loyal? Because at this level, almost nothing is accidental. And maybe Jaguar is projecting. Maybe she's reading patterns that aren't there. Or maybe she's seen enough cycles to recognize one forming. The only real test isn't the live stream, it's time. Watch what happens after the fight. Watch what happens when the spotlight shifts. Watch who remains in control of the narrative when the headlines cool down. Because if this is just love, it will stabilize. If this is just boxing, it will prove itself in the ring. If this is just drama, it will fade. But if this is leverage disguised as loyalty, the cracks won't show in a viral clip. They'll show in contracts, in silence, in who holds the power when the applause stops. And that's the part nobody can fully script. So the real question isn't whether Jaguar went too far. It's whether she pointed at something people were already quietly thinking. Drop your take below. Because in a world where image is everything, the only thing more powerful than control is perception.